So, welcome back everybody to the 31 Days of Horror, and yeah, we're on our 11th day. I hope firstly you like the change in setting, because I have rearranged my room a fair bit to record with a bit more of an appealing background. And yeah, today we're taking a look at 13 Ghosts from 1960. We're clocking in at 85 minutes long. This is a pure blood horror film, and it's directed by the great William Castle, who, amongst other films, also directed The Tingler, House on Haunted Hill, both of those starring Vincent Price, Straitjacket, Homicidal, Mr. Sardonicus, and The Nightwalker. Plenty of other films he's done as well that I kind of enjoy, but they're the main ones really. And yeah, this stars Charles Herbert, who was also in The Fly and The Colossus of New York, amongst other films as well. Some minor roles, some uncredited roles, but he was a really rather well-known child actor back in the day. As well as Joe Morrow, who I've only ever seen in one other film, that was The Three Wheels of Gulliver, and Martin Milner, who had a couple of minor roles in Dial M for Murder and Gunfight at the OK Corral, but the only main role that I've seen him in it was in Sweet Smell of Success. But that's a superb film, easily one of the best films I own, and yeah, one of the few 5-star films I own as well. And yeah, this is about a reclusive Dr. Zorba who has died and left his mansion to his nephew Cyrus and his family. They will need to search the house to find the doctor's fortune, but along with the property, they have also inherited the occultist collection of 13 ghosts. So yeah, they have to navigate the house, but also navigate the ghosts as well, which have all different kind of personalities and stuff like that. You can kind of see that on the artwork, how they're all kinds of different ones. You've got a laughing woman up here. You've got like a flaming skull ghost. You've got one here, I think. Yeah, this guy here is headless, as you can see. So there's all sorts of different ghosts, and yeah, this had a gimmick at the upon its original release called Illusiono, which basically means that if you put it up to your face, these glasses, they would give you the apparent vision of seeing the ghosts, and if you pulled it away, they wouldn't be there. But obviously, they were always there. It's just a gimmick. So I was afraid upon originally watching this that gimmick would take away from the rest of the film, because obviously I can't take part in that gimmick. I don't have the glasses on me. I am not in a cinema with other people to get the kind of atmosphere. So I was worried that the film as a whole was relying on that gimmick, but thankfully that was not the case. As yeah, this was still highly entertaining and fun throughout, even without that gimmick. So yeah, the plot is highly enjoyable, the production is really charming, the characters, and especially Buck, played by Charles Herbert, are great. It is well paced, nicely shot, has a good score, and it kept me engrossed throughout. Now, most people probably have heard of 13 Ghosts from the remake in, I think it was 2001, which had a reasonable cast and really rather solid production as well. And I like their interpretation of the 13 Ghosts, but at the end of the day, it did rely on massive amounts of violence and your typical kind of jump scares from that period of horror films. So yeah, I do prefer this on the whole, just because it's a lot more charming in terms of its old school approach, and the cast is good, like I said, and yeah, the ghosts themselves are really rather entertaining. So yeah, it is a shame that I was never able to take part in the gimmick of this film, but regardless, it was just a gimmick, and that is something that I think a lot of reviewers from the time took away from. They thought this film is purely relying on a gimmick rather than looking at the film as on its own. And thankfully, because I'm not having to take part in that gimmick, I am being able to see it as its own thing. And as its own thing, it is a really rather enjoyable film. Not my favourite William Castle film. I do prefer The Tingler, and House on Haunted Hill, which also was remade in the late 90s, is probably the more iconic film of the lot. And Straitjacket and Homicidal are a little bit more fun in terms of their, their violence and their plot. But this is still an entertaining film, and yeah, probably joint third with Straitjacket and Homicidal, with The Tingler first and maybe House on Haunted Hill second. But yeah, still, William Castle was a great director. It's just a shame that he didn't get more, bigger budgets or more time to really show off his stuff, because yeah, it was unfortunately got into the gimmick kind of rotation of things, and therefore didn't really concentrate as much on the films as I would have liked. But at the end of the day, we still got several films from him which are well up there in terms of horror films overall from that period. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.